In the 18th year of the reign of King Jeroboam the son of Nebat, Abijam became king over Judah. He reigned 3 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Maachah, the granddaughter of Abishalom, and he walked in all the sins of his father, which he had done before him. His heart was not loyal to the Lord his God, as was the heart of his father David. Nevertheless, for David's sake the Lord his God gave him a lamp in Jerusalem, by setting up his son after him, and by establishing Jerusalem. Because David did what was right in the eyes of the Lord, and had not turned aside from anything that he commanded him all the days of his life, except in the matter of Uriah the Hittite. And there was war between Rehoboam and Jeroboam all the days of his life. Now the rest of the acts of Abijam, and all that he did, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Judah? And there was war between Abijam and Jeroboam. So Abijam rested with his fathers, and they buried him in the city of David. Then Asa his son reigned in his place. In the 20th year of Jeroboam king of Israel, Asa became king over Judah, and he reigned 41 years in Jerusalem. His grandmother's name was Maachah, the granddaughter of Abishalom. Asa did what was right in the eyes of the Lord, as did his father David, and he banished the perverted persons from the land, and removed all the idols that his fathers had made. Also he removed Maachah, his grandmother, from being queen mother, because she had made an obscene image of Asherah. And Asa cut down her obscene image, and burned it by the brook Kidron. But the high places were not removed. Nevertheless, Asa's heart was loyal to the Lord all his days. He also brought into the house of the Lord the things which his father had dedicated, and the things which he himself had dedicated, silver and gold and utensils. Now there was war between Asa and Baasha king of Israel all their days. And Baasha king of Israel came up against Judah, and built Ramah, that he might let none go out or come in to Asa king of Judah. Then Asa took all the silver and gold that was left in the treasuries of the house of the Lord, and the treasuries of the king's house, and delivered them into the hand of his servants. And King Asa sent them to Ben-Hadad, the son of Timriman, the son of Hezion, king of Syria, who dwelt in Damascus, saying, Let there be a treaty between you and me, as there was between my father and your father. See, I have sent you a present of silver and gold. Come and break your treaty with Baasha king of Israel, so that he will withdraw from me. So Ben-Hadad heeded King Asa, and sent the captains of his armies against the cities of Israel. He attacked Ijon, Dan, Abel-Beth-Maachah, and all Chinneroth, with all the land of Naphtali. Now it happened, when Baasha heard it, that he stopped building Ramah, and remained in Tirzah. Then King Asa made a proclamation throughout all Judah. None was exempted, and they took away the stones and timber of Ramah, which Baasha had used for building, and with them King Asa built Geba of Benjamin, and Mizpah. The rest of all the acts of Asa, all his might, and all that he did, and the cities which he built, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Judah? But in the time of his old age he was diseased in his feet. So Asa rested with his fathers, and was buried with his fathers in the city of David his father. Then Jehoshaphat his son reigned in his place. Now Nadab the son of Jeroboam became king over Israel in the 2nd year of Asa king of Judah, and he reigned over Israel 2 years, and he did evil in the sight of the Lord, and walked in the way of his father, and in his sin by which he had made Israel sin. Then Baasha the son of Ahijah of the house of Issachar conspired against him, and Baasha killed him at Gibbethon, which belonged to the Philistines, while Nadab and all Israel laid siege to Gibbethon. Baasha killed him in the 3rd year of Asa king of Judah, and reigned in his place. And it was so, when he became king, that he killed all the house of Jeroboam. He did not leave to Jeroboam anyone that breathed, until he had destroyed them according to the word of the Lord, which he had spoken by his servant Ahijah the Shilonite, because of the sins of Jeroboam, which he had sinned, by which he had made Israel sin, because of his provocation with which he had provoked the Lord God of Israel to anger. Now the rest of the acts of Nadab and all that he did, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Israel? There was war between Asa and Baasha, king of Israel, all their days. In the 3rd year of Asa, king of Judah, Baasha, the son of Ahijah, became king over all Israel in Tirzah, and reigned 24 years. He did evil in the sight of the Lord, and walked in the way of Jeroboam, and in his sin, by which he had made Israel sin. My name's Arthur, and I thank you for joining me as we share together from 1 Kings chapter 15. So it's just 18 years after the death of Solomon, and the nation has declined greatly in those 18 years. In Judah, Rehoboam has now died, and his son Abijam rules for 3 years. He was greatly influenced by his mother Maacah, and continued in the way of his father, not doing what was right according to the way of David. He died, and his son Asa became king over Judah. Asa would reign for a long time, because he did what was right in the eyes of the Lord. It demonstrates the principle that if you basically go with God, the Lord will bless you and help you, and your life will be extended. If you go against God, then things will be difficult, and your life will be cut short. His grandmother had constructed an obscene image of Asherah. This was a pagan fertility goddess, a naked image, and Asa cut her down and burned her by the brook Kidron. And he deposed his grandmother from her status, and he turned people's attention back to the house of the Lord, bringing back to it things that were dedicated, silver, gold, and utensils. We read, he banished the perverted persons from the land, and removed all the idols that his father had made. The perverted persons were those who engaged in sodomy and ritual prostitution against the plan of God of monogamous marriage established in the Garden of Eden. Idolatry and adultery are often linked in the Scriptures. If we don't judge these things in our own society, then God will judge our society. Consequently, many Israelites from Israel came back to the temple, so much so that the then king of Israel, Baasha, sought to build a wall and stop them coming to worship the Lord in Jerusalem. We don't see that Asa asked God for help to know what to do about this, but what he did do was send money to the king of Syria to break his treaty with Israel and to attack Israel, which he did. This principle of relying on other nations to get out of trouble rather than turning to the Lord would be one that they would continually follow and would lead to disaster. And so Asa became diseased in his feet in his old age. He was not really walking completely in the ways of the Lord, as King David had. Nevertheless, he was a builder, and he reigned for 41 years. Meanwhile, in the northern kingdom, when Jeroboam died, his son Nadab took over the reign, but he continued to operate in the ways of his father, and so there was a rebellion against him. While Nadab was fighting the Philistines at Gibbethon, Baasha from the house of Issachar up north conspired against him and killed him. And when he took over the throne, he destroyed all the household of Jeroboam. Every person was killed, as the prophet Ahijah the Shilonite had declared would happen, because Jeroboam, although he was made king, did not walk in the ways of the Lord. Every one of us has an opportunity in life to turn to the Lord and walk in his ways. We are in the situations that we're in because of the circumstances of our life, but the Lord is always waiting for us to turn to him. Jeroboam didn't do that, and so Baasha rose against him. But Baasha didn't do that either, following the same policies as Jeroboam had done, causing Israel to continue to sin.